There's a specific coldness in an intensive care corridor. The only sound is the steady, hollow ping of an EKG bleeding through a closed door. Omar stands in the middle of this hallway. His suit is immaculate, expensive, and entirely out of place. He shifts his weight, eyes darting to the floor, paralyzed by a realization he can no longer outrun. The door clicks shut, and Tariq emerges. He wears a wrinkled shirt, his eyes hollowed out by days of sleep deprivation and absolute crushing grief. Omar reaches out a hand, attempting a gesture of comfort. Tariq does not move. He looks directly through Omar with eyes devoid of life and delivers a quiet, deadpan warning. He says, "Beware the prayer of the oppressed." The words stop Omar's breath because they carry the weight of a debt that can never be settled. This is da'wat al-mazlum. It describes a claim for justice that triggers when every human system has failed. It is less of a request and more of a consequence, a force that demands an accounting. Ordinary power depends on a hierarchy of wealth and status, but this force ignores that pyramid, moving vertically from the bottom to justice above. It triggers when those with everything ignore those with nothing, fracturing structures until money cannot protect you. To understand why Omar is so terrified, we have to look at the specific history of the person he chose to ignore. Years ago, their positions were reversed. Omar had nothing. Tariq was the benefactor who gave him the resources and the time to build his current life. Tariq didn't just help a friend, he invested in a person's future. That act of support created an unspoken agreement, a mutual understanding that when one person is lifted up, they carry a responsibility to the person who held the ladder. Two people are tethered together by a constant exchange of support, keeping the connection stable. But when Omar's node grew, he stopped sending energy back. The tether strained until it snapped, leaving the person who built him isolated in extreme need. Omar didn't simply forget a friend. He destroyed the very link that justified his own success. Back in the hallway, Omar panics. He claims he didn't know how bad things were. He begs for understanding, as if his lack of awareness is a valid excuse. This is the result of success acting as a shield. Omar's lifestyle allowed him to look away, building an artificial wall between his comforts and the reality of Tariq's struggle. While Omar was deciding which luxury to buy next, Tariq was watching his mother pass away and his sister fight for every breath. Forgetting the person who once saved you isn't an accident. It is a choice to prioritize your own comfort over the survival of the person who made that comfort possible. In this context, doing nothing is a decisive act. By refusing to help, Omar effectively removed the only safety net Tariq had left. Tariq points to a direct chain of events. He believes that Omar's refusal to help when he was able was the moment the tragedy became inevitable. This is the first step in the process, absolute powerlessness. Tariq has no legal path to punish Omar and no money to match his influence. He is trapped in a system that doesn't see him. Then comes the second step. Tariq stops asking. He cuts the final link of expectation, realizing that no human help is coming from the person who owed him most. When human systems fail so completely, the grievance moves to a higher court. As this scale shows, a pile of gold bars has no weight when measured against the desperation of a single glowing tear. This is the ultimate equalizer. When a person with nothing left to lose stops looking to the world for help, the oppressor's power becomes irrelevant. In the present, Tariq doesn't yell. He doesn't seek revenge. He simply turns his back and walks into the shadows of the hospital corridor. That silence is more devastating than any argument. It leaves Omar alone with the knowledge that he is no longer relevant to the man he betrayed. Omar's wealth is now a useless tool. It cannot buy back the time he wasted, and it cannot fix the damage caused by his silence. The true punishment isn't a loss of money or status. It is the internal weight of knowing that a tragedy happened because he chose to do nothing. Look at the people who helped you get where you are today. Consider whether you are still holding the tether, or if you have allowed your own success to blind you to their needs. Material success is fragile. It can easily become a wall that separates us from the very empathy that makes us human. The consequences of ignoring those who once saved us are irreversible. The weight of what we owe will eventually find its way back to us.